Tonight it's my pleasure to introduce Nate Story, who is a PhD candidate in the field of agronomy. And Nate is, you're going to hear about a really interesting company that he's building. He's our co-winner of this year's 10K competition, which is a business plan competition that the College of Business sponsors. And the 10K comes from he and his partner won $10,000 plus some, plus the ability to be in our business incubator and have our counseling and all the other services that we can provide there as well. Nate's a really interesting guy. Some of the things he might not tell you about himself that I might share. One, he lives out on Cooper's Mountain a long ways away, so far away that he killed a bear in his backyard this winter. He has to drive to his Jeep, to drive to his snowmobile, to snowmobile into his house in the dead of winter. And one time he missed an appointment because it was 35 below. And he said, I can't get on the snowmobile. So it's like, okay. So, but Nate's a really interesting guy, and I think you'll love his company, and I'm sure you'll love his presentation. So please welcome me, or join me in welcoming Nate Story.
Thanks, Greg. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. I'm going to introduce my company, Bright Agrotech LLC. It's a company that my partner and I started last year. And we started in response to, We started in response to some problems we saw with the hydroponic production industry and the greenhouse production industry in particular. As a grad student, I spent a lot of time inside of greenhouses, and the more time I spent there, the more some glaring inefficiencies began to become visible. This is a typical greenhouse production facility here. It's 14 to 20 feet high, and production is happening on a single plane, about 6 inches deep. So they're heating that space, they're cooling that space, in some instances they're lighting that space, and they're only using a very small proportion of it, maybe 5 to 10%. So began looking at that and saying, hey, there's a lot better way to utilize this space, increasing our energy efficiency and our space use efficiency. And so that's kind of where the idea for our concept started. We were also looking at this industry and looking at the labor costs and the costs of packaging and the costs of fuels for transport. And we thought, you know, the local foods movement is going to be kind of the next big thing as people get away from their fossil fuel consumption, try and reduce it, and as local producers start to take over from these big production greenhouses. So this was kind of what we were thinking when we developed our product. Our product are these towers. Now we're not, we're growing in these right now just to kind of show people how to do it. But these towers that we developed, it takes the horizontal growing plane and it chops it up into a bunch of little pieces and it shifts it vertically. So what we're able to do is we're able to kind of manipulate how the light hits it and manipulate how the plants grow in order to get maximum production. And what we found is that we can triple to quadruple the production that we got horizontally when we use this kind of technique. This is basil. What you're looking at here, a few different varieties, but that's several $1,000 worth of basil right there, grown in about 25 square feet, 5 foot by 5 foot space. So this was our answer to that first issue. It's a volumetric kind of address of greenhouse space use as opposed to just talking about square footage. And this is basically what it is, how it works. It's a housing with a media made of recycled water bottles. We drag it in and we drop our seedlings in there, and it works quite well. We have red worms integrated into there and all sorts of soil bacteria doing their thing and helping us grow. This tower here is about is almost a $500 tower of basil. And we did that in about 1.5 square feet. So that's the kind of production we're able to get. In address to the second set of problems we saw with the labor, with the packaging, with this really centralized, lots of transportation kind of business model, this was the address that we had to that. It's a display. The towers come down, they're modular, they fit into the display, and the consumer at market cuts their own live vegetables from the display. So what it does is it eliminates all of our labor costs, which are the high costs with herb production, and we outsource that to the customer, and then we charge them extra to do that for us. So it's a wonderful thing. People really enjoy the experience of cutting off of this tower, cutting these kind of vegetables, and we really enjoy making money off of it. So these are the two products we sell. We sell the towers, we sell the displays, and then we help producers get up and running doing this themselves. Our goal is not to necessarily do this ourselves. We want to enable young farmers and people that want to get into farming to do this and supply their local markets with herbs and greens and healthy stuff that's produced locally. We just think that's the way to go. We're looking to really kind of ride the wave of this local foods movement. If you're not aware of it, it's kind of the new organic is going to be buying locally and being able to shake the hand of the guy that produced your vegetables for you or your beef for you or whatever your deal is. So this is the growth of farmers markets annually. It's kind of an indicator of the local foods movement. And if you guys haven't been to the farmer market here down in Laramie, I'd encourage you to go down there. And while you're down there, stop in at Whole Foods or the Big Hollow Natural Foods and check out our display because we've got a prototype down there now. So as Greg said, we won the 10K competition about a month and a half ago, and we're kind of in building phase now, just getting everything together, all of our literature and all of our advertisement stuff. And we got free, the business incubator gave us free office space, which is totally awesome. So we're down there now. If you guys want to stop in and say hi, we'll probably be in there most of the time. So that's the business.
Thank you, Nate.
Thanks.
Any questions for Nate? We could probably have time for a couple questions. Yes?
For the business display and the market display, what does the market have to do? What does it have a light requirement, something regarding how does it facilitate?
All of our production happens in the greenhouse, and then we basically move the tower to the display. So basically the market does nothing. They just sell the items for us, or the herbs and the greens for us. That's true, yep. And then it just sits there. We don't care about growing the plant once it's at market. We just want to keep it irrigated and keep it alive, which is a lot cheaper than refrigeration, actually, so that's kind of another benefit.
I recently read an article about how offices now are starting to put a lot more greens in the office space because it's good for the air.
Absolutely.
It seemed like that would be a perfect application for what you guys are doing. Have you thought about it?
Yeah, we've thought about that. Actually, some of the basil towers we're growing, the dwarf basil, it's an heirloom variety, and it's really aromatic, just incredibly aromatic. You just brush the stuff, and it's zen. You just zone out. It's a wonderful thing. So we've talked with people about doing that or going to some trade shows and setting up an aromatherapy booth where people just walk in and sit down and rainbows and unicorns for half an hour, and then they can go back and do their thing. So, yes, sir.
Do you just have a commercial market for this, or do you have a consumer market?
We right now our prototyped equipment we're using, kind of to demonstrate for producers what the systems can do. So we're making a little money off of that, but that's just for demonstration purposes. We sell the equipment, so we sell the towers, we sell the display, and then we help them set it up.
Is that essentially just for commercial growers, not for consumers?
We sell it to home growers as well. Yep.
Great, thanks, Nate.
Thank you.